The impoverished student claimed to be the heroine of a redemption story. Seeing me crouched on the ground, picking up volleyball, she immediately rushed over, stomped on the ball to break it, and scolded the surrounding classmates. "You're all so terrible. How dare you make the top student pick up the balls alone? I 1T let you bully him." I was dumbfounded, thinking she was performing some kind of performance art. She continued talking to herself. "You were the top student in our grade. I'm the school beauty. We're practically made for each other from now on. Let me be your savior." From that moment, she latched onto me completely. When I went to buy drinks, she'd dragged me to cut in line. When I returned home, she'd climb over the wall, wearing lace pajamas, and lie on my bed. Already isolated by my classmates, I couldn't escape her. She spun tragic, unrequited love stories online and hunted me across every social media platform. The pressure drove me to depression and suicide. When I opened my eyes again, I returned to the day she crushed that soccer ball. One during PE class, we were divided into groups for activities, and this time, it happened to be my turn to collect the balls. But I'd only picked up a few when a figure rushed right in front of me. I looked up, and the blinding sunlight was replaced by a girl's face. "Leo, how can you not fight back when they treat you like this?" The person who arrived was Chloe, also the school belle of our institution. Seeing that I remained silent, she continued speaking to herself. "If you don't stand up for yourself this time, they'll keep bullying you next time this ISNT fair. Don't worry, I'm here for you." Then she loudly berated the members of our group. "You're all going too far. What give you the right to make Leo pick up the balls alone? I 1T let you bully him." The surrounding classmates were all stunned. After all, it was the teacher who arranged things this way. How could it be framed as everyone bullying me? In my past life, I found it too embarrassing. I'd seen attention seekers before, but never one like Chloe. I immediately excused myself to the bathroom and slipped away. But later, I gradually came to understand Chloe wasn't fishing for attention. She was genuinely delusional. She fancied herself the heroine of a romance novel, convinced that an outstanding yet reclusive boy like me was just waiting to be saved by a beautiful maiden. She said my current predicament was only temporary, that I would surely rise to prominence in the future and then give her a grand wedding. "Leo, the first heard from classmates that you're currently staying with relatives and must be having a hard time. Don't worry, I would never abandon you during your most difficult moments." Wait, what exactly does a wealthy New York heir like me need her to save me from? My parents were worried about retaliation from business rivals, which is why they transferred me to a school in my aunt's city. I'll be going back for university anyway. Since my aunt told me to keep a low profile, I thought I could just tolerate this slightly odd classmate and it would pass. But Chloe went too far. The more people around, the more she insisted on playing the role of a romance novel heroine. She even climbed over the wall and into my bed, scaring me half to death when I woke up. I wanted to transfer schools, but Chloe ran out of my room, crying, making it impossible for me to explain things to my aunt. Later, she spun her own love story online, writing nothing but vulgar fanfiction, even claiming to have had 3 abortions because of me. My aunt witnessed it firsthand, and my mother was so furious she got into a car accident while driving. I wanted to explain, but it was already impossible to defend myself. No one believed me. My reputation was ruined. Everyone mocked me as a pervert, and my parents were ashamed of me. When Chloe found me again, I swallowed pills with my depression diagnosis in hand and committed suicide. Now, watching her block my path, once more I stood up and shoved her to the ground. "Chloe, are you insane?" Chloe stared at me in disbelief. "Leo, I'm trying to help you." I furrow my brows. "Are you inventing some new form of school bullying? Or is this just your way of skipping gym class to avoid playing ball?" Having everyone take turns picking up balls was the teacher's arrangement. I've never seen someone be so unhelpful. "If you really want to help, why don't you pick up the balls that are my responsibility?" Hearing what I said, everyone nodded in agreement. "Chloe, no matter how pretty you are, you still have to participate in PE class." "That's right. Just because the boys don't dare to criticize you, do you really think it's okay to throw a tantrum?" Haha, even Leo, being a guy, can see right through her little schemes. Girls were already reluctant to attend PE class to begin with, and with my comment, everyone shifted their attention. I've been watching from the sidelines this whole time. You kept making Leo pick up the balls nonstop. You're just bullying him because you think he is pitiful. Chloe scrambled up from the ground, completely unbothered by the fact that I pushed her. "Leo, can't you see? I'm the only one here who truly cares about you." The words "seeking credit" might as well be written across her face. "I'm pitiful. Do elaborate. Where exactly am I pitiful?" I laughed. Chloe hesitated. "Leo, the first no saying this in front of our classmates might hurt your pride, but if I don't tell them, they'll keep bullying you. We only have 1 year left of high school. Do you really want to endure this the whole time?" "Fine, go ahead." Then, seeing my agreement, Chloe finally turned to face the other students with newfound confidence. "Don't think I don't know you've been gossiping behind Leo's back, saying he lives with relatives, depends on others, and transferred here from some small town. But how could any of you compare to him? He ranked first in the entire school. As soon as he arrived, he definitely achieved more than all of you. and rise to greatness. As Chloe's words fell, the looks my classmates gave me turned strange. She was stirring up resentment for me, trying to widen the gap between me and them. I burst out laughing. "You're the one from a small town. Who told you living with relatives means transferring from some backwater and depending on others? Isn't that right, Leo? Don't be upset. Everything will change from now on." Chloe looked at me. With sympathy, my smile turned sarcastic. "The reason I could transfer to your elite high school at this time, even into the best teacher S class, is because my family donated $5 million to the school. Otherwise, how could your school library be completed so quickly with such high-end equipment and furnishings?" Chloe laughed incredulously. "Leo, you really don't need to boast like this just to save face. None of our classmates would believe that." The classmates also nodded in agreement, thinking what I said was too far-fetched. Originally, I had refused the school as public acknowledgement of my contribution, but now it seemed necessary. "You'll find out tomorrow," I said, turning to leave with a wave. Meanwhile, I could still hear Chloe explaining to the classmates, insisting that I had lied out of pride and urging everyone not to target me anymore. The next day, when I arrived in class, many students were looking at me strangely. "Leo, didn't you say your family donated $5 million to the school? You didn't even bother making up a decent lie. Let us see how you'll explain this to everyone. Unless you can get the principal to come out and back up your lie." I nodded, and everyone burst into laughter until the morning assembly, when the principal arrived with a microphone and announced, "Students, the rapid completion of our new library is thanks to our transfer student Leo from class 1-2, whose family donated $5 million to the school." The surrounding classmates were dumbfounded, even wondering if they were hearing things. Holy shit, his family must be worth over $100 million, donating $5 million like it's pocket change, just like spending $500. With $5 million, you could study abroad at some elite prep school. My God, Leo, it's not just handsome and smart, his family is loaded too. And Chloe said he was living off others. Is she out of her damn mind? Chloe, standing not far from me, had an extremely unpleasant expression on her face. But she quickly changed her demeanor, approaching me with flattery and saying, "Leo, the first truly had no idea your family was so wealthy as a classmate. I was just worried you might be bullied. I thought you were in a tough situation, so I stepped in to help. Please don't misunderstand." She really knows how to save face, doesn't she? Amidst the jealous gazes of the other girls, I smiled and shook my head. "Leo, as long as you don't misunderstand me, that's all that matters. Don't worry, I'll still protect you in the future." Chloe smiled sweetly. She was decent looking, but among my New York social circle, she was rather plain. Pretty friends like her were never in short supply growing up. "What misunderstanding? You just found out my family is wealthy and wanted to make an impression, didn't you? Otherwise, why would you claim they were bullying me when the teacher assigned everyone to take turns picking up balls? They're all guys who usually played basketball together. Why would they bully me? You'd better not try your little tricks on me, because I'm not buying it." The crowd burst into laughter in agreement. Now the embarrassment had turned squarely back on her. "Ha ha ha, with the Leo family being so wealthy, there must be plenty of girls pulling stunts like this. Isn't that how it always goes in the movies? Chloe is so calculating. I always wondered why she wore that natural makeup look every day. Turns out it was all to hook a rich second-generation heir. Of course, she deliberately got close to Leo. Who knows how she got the inside scoop? Did she take some kind of gold-digging training course or something?" Chloe's face flushed crimson with instant fury. Under the weight of everyone's mocking gazes, she finally couldn't take it and ran away. After keeping their distance, the classmates gradually returned to their previous attitudes, and some even became friendlier. "Leo, why did you come to our side? Wouldn't New York offer better opportunities? Are there a lot of handsome guys over there? You're really outstanding. It's true that people can't be compared." I politely responded to each message, and the air felt fresher without Chloe around. I thought she'd stay quiet for a while, but she couldn't sit still by the afternoon. When I went to the restroom, she followed me. "Leo, the first one give up on being good to you. Maybe you don't think you need it now, but you'll understand my kindness later." Me, is she forcing herself into this dramatic role? There aren't any cameras around filming. Who asked this performance for? She raised her hand with a tissue, rubbing her eyes red, yet not a single tear fell. "How good can you be to me? I want that famous pizza from outside campus. Go buy it for me." 3. Chloe's eyes instantly lit up. "All right, you wait here. Do I really want to eat? No, I just need to use the bathroom." When I returned to my seat and was about to read, Chloe shoved aside the person sitting in front of me and took their spot staring at me. "Leo, that pizza place is too expensive. I don't have enough allowance. Is there anything else you'd like to eat?" I glared at her coldly. Suddenly a female voice snapped back at her before I could. "Oh, Chloe, you drink those 50 specialty coffees all the time, but now you're complaining about a slice of pizza being expensive." Trying to impress Leo without spending a dime, the surrounding crowd couldn't help but laugh. "Give it up, Chloe. It's obvious Leo isn't interested in you. Can't you see that? Exactly how shameless, still clinging to him like this." I nodded in apparent agreement. "Chloe, clench your fists. What nonsense are you spouting? If he doesn't like me, Does that mean he'd prefer you ugly freaks? Speechless once again, I had to admire Chloe's audacity. Her behavior was no different from publicly humiliating herself. And just like that one sentence had stirred collective outrage, I immediately stood up and moved further away lest their arguing spit land on my face. But I never expected they'd actually come to blows. Taking on 7 or 8 people single-handedly, what a spectacular scene. She kept hurling insults while fighting you slut think you can just flirt around everywhere. Wasn't he stealing someone else's boyfriend enough? Now you're trying to seduce another one, huh? What is the point of wearing pants when your stench alone could knock someone out? At first some men tried to intervene and break up the fight, but after getting scratched by her nails, they all backed off. When the next class teacher arrived, Chloe had already scratched 3 girls' faces though her own clothes were torn to shreds, exposing quite a bit of skin. Some boys with phones even secretly started taking pictures. Needless to say, they were all summoned to the principal's office. I enjoyed a peaceful afternoon free from Chloe's harassment. That night the photos were turned into memes and spread throughout the class group chat. Chloe completely lost it, yet she chose to frantically call me instead. I answered one call only to hear her wailing hysterically on the other end. Finding it too noisy, I hung up. Because of this incident, she didn't come to school for a whole week. Only after the teacher resolved the photo situation did she dare return to class. But Chloe started causing trouble again. As soon as she arrived, I was queuing at the school store to buy water when she spotted me rush straight to the front of the line and waved at me. Leo, just come over. These are all my friends cutting in line. Is no big deal. Such brazen line cutting was probably something these people had never witnessed before. All their eyes turned toward me, as if their gazes alone could kill me the moment I stepped forward. I looked at everyone and said, sorry, I'm not close with her. These are all her personal actions reflecting her individual character. Chloe saw that I wasn't coming over, so she ran to my side instead. She tried to grab my sleeve, but I shook her off immediately. Leo, we have PE class soon. If you don't go paying now, you'll definitely be late. Then those people will surely talk about you again. I'm just thinking about what's best for you. Let us go, let us go. She tried to grab my sleeve again, but I dodged her. Classmate, we're not that close. And I don't like you. Could you please stop bothering me? For Chloe looked somewhat disbelieving. Leo, what kind of words are these coming from you? I'm the only one who treats you the best. I'm the one who always considers everything for you. The surrounding classmates couldn't help but burst into laughter. So even handsome guys aren't all about looks, haha. What's the use of being good looking with no manners? This girl told other guys to cut in line. They agreed. Then she comes yelling at this guy. Behind her, who were the people in front? Then her backup options or something, The truth comes out. Who knew buying food could serve up live drama? I wore an expression that clearly said stay away and couldn't even be bothered to look at her. Chloe didn't leave either. She just waited beside me after I bought water for our group and headed back. She followed along. Oh, so it was you guys forcing Leo to buy water. Do you even have a conscience? You know he's wealthy, so you make him buy the most expensive sports drinks. How did I end up with classmates like you? If it had been the first time, people might have explained themselves. Now no one would give Chloe any face since she is always opening her mouth to slander others. What does it have to do with you what drinks I'm treating everyone to? I glared coldly at her, while others also started angrily confronting her. Chloe, know your limits. You've been harassing Leo every single day. Exactly. Don't make the same scene as last time when photos went viral and you had to hide at home for a week too scared to come to school. How embarrassing. Do you really think anyone would be interested in you like this? Hurry back to your own group. Don't come here looking to get insulted. Chloe remained defiant, even after being confronted, still carrying herself with unshaken confidence. She said to me, Leo, look at these unreasonable classmates. I'm completely different from them. I always speak to you in such a gentle tone. They're attacking me personally all because I'm helping you. Don't worry. You can tell me anything. I'll come find you after class. Chloe reluctantly walked away, glancing back every few steps. Unfortunately, a basketball hit her square in the head. The impact was so strong that her head immediately froze in place. She cried out, Leo, where are you? Leo, will you accompany me to the hospital? I simply had a classmate relay the message for me. Leo said, if you're in pain, go to the school nurse or go home to your dad. He asked, not your father. Why are you calling for him like a lost soul every day? The classmates who had initially been concerned about her injury burst into laughter. Hearing it put that way, it did seem rather absurd. Chloe went to the hospital. I had my aunt go talk to the school administration, saying Chloe was disrupting my studies. When she came to school the next day, the homeroom teacher completely lost her temper in front of the whole class. Chloe, you're here to study, not to chase after rich boys. Do you think you're so pretty that is only because you haven't seen the wider world? Yet there are countless beautiful women out there. If you don't focus on your studies with your current failing grades, you'll be out of our honors class after the next monthly exam. I'm warning you, if you want to study yourself, don't disturb Leo's studies. He is not interested in you. Can't you focus on your schoolwork? Chloe, being scolded by the homeroom teacher in front of the entire class, actually dared to shout back defiantly. He is the top student in our grade, and I'm the school beauty. It's only natural we belong together. Besides, Leo and I like each other. Don't worry, teacher. I'll never leave our class. I'll study hard. Phi, the homeroom teacher, was stunned and immediately took her to the office to write a 3,000-word self-criticism. Before leaving, Chloe gazed at me with tender affection. Leo, don't worry about me. She left it wasn't tea until after lunch at noon that she returned to the classroom. The moment she saw me, she immediately rushed over. Leo, were you worried about me all morning? Did you even eat properly at lunch? You don't need to feel guilty, even if you didn't tea. Stand up to speak for me. I wouldn't blame you, I understand. Do you see now how good I've been to you? Chloe tried to grab my hand, startling me into jerking away. My deskmate kindly interjected. Leo ate a cheeseburger for lunch plus some fried shrimp and a big chicken drumstick. His appetite has been just fine. I nodded. It was me who reported to the school. You're really disrupting my life. I hope you perform well in this monthly exam so you can leave our class once and for all. Ah, Leo, you really know how to put it. Chloe, stop pretending. All we hear every day is your endless chatter. How are you? Such a good actress. Exactly. The only fun part of coming to school every day is seeing what new drama she'll stir up. Chloe fell silent. Her gaze at me was complex. I was all too familiar with that look in my past life when I distanced myself and swore I'd never like her. She wore that exact same expression. The very next day, she stalked me and climbed over the wall into my room. The security in my aunt's residential area wasn't as tight as my own home, as people could come and go freely in the neighborhood at night. Her home was on the 6th floor. I couldn't believe how she managed to climb up there. Because of this, no matter how I explained it to my aunt, she refused to believe that a girl like Chloe could scale the wall all the way to the 6th floor. Who would believe such a story? So I had to come up with a plan. After school, as usual, my aunt called me to wash my hands and eat. Leo, I've already reported this matter to your school teachers. Has that girl stopped bothering you? If she has tea, I'll personally go talk to her parents. Annie placed a piece of meat in my bowl and smiled at me. I nodded and buried my head in my meal. Because I was thinking, how should I expose Chloe's scheme? Auntie, I was thinking of bringing Mimi to stay in my room. Would that be all right? Mimi is my pet dog. Annie agreed, immediately saying she'd handle it and I'd see the puppy by tomorrow morning. I smiled and ate another bowl of rice with my dog here. Installing a camera in my room seems perfectly reasonable, doesn't it? That same night, I ordered all of Mimi's food treats toys and a high-definition camera. The camera was installed directly facing the window, perfectly positioned to capture the entire room. I told her I was worried the dog might run onto the balcony, and the aunt didn't suspect a thing. The next night, I tossed and turned in bed, unable to sleep. I crept to the window and peeked down, spotting a suspicious figure lurking below. I immediately went to alert the aunt. Leo, you said the dog has diarrhea. Why aren't you turning on the lights? I said nervously. Annie, don't turn on the lights. It hurt Mimi's eyes. Just see what is wrong with her. If the lights were on, Chloe outside would know I'm still awake and she might not come in at this time. The aunt squatted on the floor using her phone's light to check on the pet dog. Oh dear, Leo, Annie, ISNT, a vet, should I take it to the pet hospital instead? As soon as she finished speaking, she suddenly became alert, quiet. There seems to be movement outside the window. Could it be people from New York? Auntie was very nervous. Her hands holding mine were trembling, but she immediately pulled me out of the room and shut the door behind us. Hello, police. There seems to be an intruder in our house. Annie told me to stay close to her as she went to the kitchen to fetch a cleaver. Perhaps in our past life, Auntie mistakenly thought I was fooling around with Chloe and must have been deeply disappointed in me. If there really was an intruder in the room, how could a woman like her possibly hold them off? Yet, as my elder, she resolutely shielded me with her own body. When my mother sent me here, she had warned me about the dangers involved. But Auntie agreed without hesitation. In my memory, it seemed she had cut ties with the family for a man's sake, yet she never severed contact with my mother. I've never met my uncle. Annie said he was a hero, except he remained at the border and could never return. 6th, the police station wasn't far from the neighborhood. They arrived at my home in just 10 minutes. After confirming my room, several fully armed police officers burst through the door. Chloe was caught red-handed hiding under my blanket. She had even taken off her clothes. Everyone's expressions were priceless. Fortunately, it was a false alarm, but the dorm Annie was still furious. Who is this girl, Annie? This is that classmate who has been harassing me. Damn it, how did she even get in here? I hid behind my aunt, refusing to step forward. No matter what, Leo, I'm not wearing any clothes. Hurry up and give me yours. Leo, even if you don't know how to explain this to your aunt, you can't treat me like this. Are you trying to break up with me? Chloe's first words were pure slander. She knew the police had arrived. This matter couldn't just be swept under the rug. So she is planning to pin this all on me right now. Officer, she asked my classmate, but we're not involved. I didn't bring her to my house. She came here on her own. Chloe kept spouting nonsense with conviction. Leo, you're the one who brought me to your house. How else would I know where you live? And how else could I have gotten in? She added smugly. Seeing my aunt's expression, I knew she didn't believe a word of Chloe's story. Officer, my nephew, and I were checking on the dog. When we heard movement on the balcony, we mistook it for an intruder, which is why we called the police. There are surveillance cameras in his room. The aunt then turned a cold gaze toward Chloe. Young lady, you've been harassing my nephew for quite some time. Now, the residential surveillance footage will clearly show how you got in. Don't worry, we'll definitely call both your homeroom teacher and your parents. Auntie, it's so late now. Let us not trouble the officers. Leo and I are in love. I can explain everything to you. Leo S. just too shy to tell you the truth. There's really no need to call anyone. And it's so late the teachers are all asleep. Anyway, how could they possibly come over now? Her calculations were quite shrewd. This matter could be either trivial or serious. Clearly, I had no intention of settling privately, nor was I willing to spare her any dignity. The police quickly pulled up the surveillance footage, which proved conclusively that Chloe had indeed climbed over the wall to get in. Both the officers and my aunt were stunned when they saw the footage of her scaling the building. Moreover, after her phone call, the homeroom teacher and Chloe's parents were also on their way over. Once everyone had arrived, Chloe had gotten dressed and met up with them at the police station. The police showed the surveillance footage again to the homeroom teacher and her parents. While the homeroom teacher was shocked, her parents immediately flew into a rage. Chloe, is this what you call staying at a classmate's house? How could I have given birth to such a shameless daughter? You keep saying we favor your brother, but look at yourself. Where's the dignity a young girl should have? How old are you climbing into a male classmate's house and sleeping in his bed? Have you ruined your brain? Watching too many movies? Did you think you could force a marriage by cooking the rice? Chloe's parents rained furious slaps across her face and body. She cried, seeking my help. Leo, save me. Seeing my indifference, she continued to wail. Leo, I've helped you everywhere at school. I'm the only one who truly cares for you. We're meant to be together. And you are my first. You can't just abandon me like this. Her sudden wail shocked everyone once again. I couldn't help but show my delight. In my past life, she relied entirely on her silver tongue, claiming she had multiple abortions, forging medical reports from who knows where, photoshopping documents before posting them online. Back then, I couldn't prove my innocence. But now the perfect opportunity has fallen right into my lap. This is no trivial matter. The girl is still very young. If this is true, it could involve criminal activity. Leo, Annie has to ask you, have you had any unusual relationship with this girl? I quickly shook my head. Annie let out a sigh of relief and immediately regained her composure. Chloe's parents, this is indeed a serious matter. We should take the children to the hospital for an examination to protect both their health and reputations. Don't you agree? The homeroom teacher chimed in, but Chloe's parents clearly weren't having it. Don't mind this wretched girl. She is definitely spouting nonsense. It's just childish mischief. Let us just drop the matter. It's our failure in raising our daughter properly. We've truly caused trouble for everyone. They wanted to sweep big issues under the rug and minimize small ones, but my aunt wasn't one to be trifled with. I've recorded the entire incident. I'll have Leo's lawyer come first thing tomorrow morning. A forensic examination is absolutely necessary. We reserve the right to sue Chloe. Breaking and entering is illegal, not to mention she is suspected of spreading defamatory rumors about my nephew's reputation. This matter I sent over. Then she turned to my homeroom teacher and said, now that you understand the situation, we expect the school to give us a proper explanation. The homeroom teacher repeatedly assured her before preparing to leave. Chloe's parents were absolutely furious, forcing her to kneel before us. Hurry up and kowtow to apologize. We can't afford to compensate them. If you don't obtain their forgiveness today, don't you dare come home ever again. You won't have a home anymore, and don't call us mom and dad anymore. Chloe was crying so hard she could barely breathe, her face swollen and red, her hair a complete mess. Her beautiful face and confident demeanor were all gone. Now she was left with nothing but wretchedness. Leo, why are you treating me like this? You'll regret this someday. We were meant to be together. If we separate now, it'll be years before we meet again. Why should we waste these years apart? Leo, Chloe's pleading didn't align with what her parents had envisioned, infuriating them so much they chose to leave, preferring not to see or hear her distress. I said expressionlessly, I never liked you. Your presence only affects my mood and disgusts me. Stop crossing the line with your one-sided affection. Annie, just follow whatever legal procedures the lawyer recommends for the lawsuit. I need to go rest. Chloe was still crying and shouting behind me, Leo, you'll regret this. What a joke. After this incident, Chloe was expelled from school and my reputation remained intact. After graduating from high school, I returned to New York. I never saw Chloe again after that. I imagine her life must be quite miserable. Nothing could be more satisfying. For years later, I graduated from a prestigious university with my career path already arranged, barely a worry in sight. But I never expected to see Chloe again. This is probably my only concern now. She saw me and immediately came over cheerfully to greet me. Leo, have you spent these years regretting your decision? You didn't expect we'd meet again, did you? This time, don't push me away again. Okay, someone is withdrawn as you. How could anyone possibly want to genuinely get close to you? She giggled coyly and naturally reached out to take my arm. I instinctively stepped back to avoid her. Leo, what more do you want from me? Chloe coquettishly pouted. How could there be such a shameless person who takes pleasure in seducing other people as boyfriends? Don't you know young Master Leo already has a girlfriend, yet you still throw yourself at him? Step aside, the real girlfriend is here. Several women wearing designer dresses approached, each carrying handbags worth no less than $50,000. This time Chloe glared angrily, but she didn't have the confidence to scold them. Because among these women her looks only stood out for being innocent and pure, she wasn't much prettier than the others. And what she was wearing couldn't compare at all. Who are you? Chloe's tone had weakened considerably. One of the girls boldly kissed me on the cheek and said, I'm Leo's girlfriend. We're all classmates, and you are. Chloe's face instantly turned bright red. I was also his high school classmate, his favorite girl back. Then you all know how powerful first love can be. First love, I burst out laughing. That's hilarious. Even young Master Leo is laughing. What first love? Do you really think we don't know what you've done? A simple investigation would reveal that you were the girl who harassed Leo back in Jiangcheng. That incident caused quite a stir back. Then how dare you still have a nerve to cling to him? What is the matter? Fail to latch onto young Master Leo. So now you're trying to cling to some other rich heir. Chloe snapped angrily. You're going too far. You have no class at all, even if you're wearing expensive clothes and carrying designer bags. Didn't Leo buy them all for you? Are you kidding me? Everyone in our circle started their own businesses right after graduation. We're not like you, just waiting for men to hand you money. Exactly. I think she just can't stand seeing women who are wealthier than her. Why would anyone still rely on men for money these days? How vulgar. Chloe, fuming, nodded repeatedly. Fine. I can't compete with your family money. But apart from that, what do you even have going for you? Your faces are full of obvious plastic surgery marks. So ugly. Leo, could you call security to escort this lady out? My girlfriend asked me. I nodded. Chloe panicked. What right do you have to do this? This is a public place. I can stay here. If I want, it's none of your business. Miss, don't you know this is Leo's property? If he says you're out, you're out. Security arrived swiftly. 2 guards grabbed Chloe and began dragging her out. My mood improved only after her figure disappeared from sight. This bit of humiliation is nothing compared to the suffering she inflicted on me in our past life. I let her off easily. For instance, just casually asking my assistant to inquire reveals her current situation. In New York, every inch of land might as well be worth its weight in gold for someone like her. Surviving here by being someone's mistress, huh? What a perfect opportunity. How could I possibly miss it? I knew Chloe was tracking my movements, even spending money to buy information. Of course, kindly share some news with her. Naturally, while she was coming over to talk to me, her man's wife was already on her way. Leo, they only love your money, not you at all. Only I've been unable to forget you all these years. As soon as she finished speaking, several women who had been standing nearby for a while rushed over. Chloe, you shameless homewrecker, unable to forget him. I bet you can't forget any man. Daring to seduce my husband. Where the hell do you get the nerve calling my husband daddy now that I'm here as his wife? You think you can just run away. Keep screaming, call me mommy again. Chloe struggled to escape, but her hair was yanked back, leaving her no way out. I'll let me go, you old hag. You couldn't keep your husband in check. Why blame me? Don't think you can shirk responsibility. It takes 2 to tango. I'll divorce that bastard of a man. But as for you, his little mistress, I won't let you off either. So you love calling random men daddy, dressing like a slut every day, booking hotel rooms, waiting for married men. Have you no shame at all? I quietly distanced myself from the battlefield and dialed a reporter's number. Don't worry, young Master Leo. This will make headlines today. Yes, in my past life, she slandered me into the headlines. Of course, I had to return the favor. I wanted her to taste the bitterness of being condemned by the entire internet. Chloe became infamous, even getting sued by the original wife. Leo, how can you just take their abuse without fighting back? Leo, I've lost everything now. It's your turn to save me. I can't live without you anymore. Would you break up with your girlfriend? We're meant to be together. Take me one tea. You. Chloe began undressing as she spoke. Unfortunately, my girlfriend hates people who push themselves forward like her. As she finished undressing, several women hiding in the bathroom rushed out with their phones, capturing a full 360-degree video of her in all her glory. Chloe was thrown out of the private room, completely naked. She was dragged away by a group of drunks, and no one lifted a finger to stop them. Later, the news reported an incident that happened at the same location that day. A young mistress attempting to seduce a wealthy man again failed in her advances and was instead tortured and humiliated by people sent by the man's wife. By the time she was found and sent to the hospital for emergency treatment, she was already paralyzed from the waist down and had her uterus removed. Years later, I had almost forgotten about that woman who once loudly proclaimed herself to be the heroine of a romantic novel. The end.